What are we doing? Are we doing drugs? I missed something.
I was making a joke about
Who's shooting up what?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Who's Drinking What? A podcast about craft beer where we just sit around and drink and have a good time. I'm Peter Hines. Yes, I went with the Scottish Open. Maybe that was Scottish.
It changes every week.
I want to try that. Keep it interesting for me. That's Brooke Scott, my co-host and drinking partner.
Welcome back, everyone.
And today we have David Britton on as our drinking guest.
I'm so excited. I was telling Peter before the show that this is the best idea for a podcast. It's like we all, as comedians, want to drink during the day. And this is just like, oh, it's part of our job. We got to drink. We got to drink because it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You understand. You understand.
Yeah, we're doing a community service.
It's not a problem. It's a job.
And that actually leads me into... I
like that.
We've announced it. I'm excited. We got our business cards in. Tomorrow is Winterfest up in Indy. We're going to that. Brooks and I are. David, I'm sorry. You're going to have to stay.
I can't go? What if I want to? I'm not doing nothing tomorrow. Can I go?
We'll smuggle you in the podcast bag.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. I actually have no idea what I'm doing tomorrow, actually. I'm doing a bit. I have a life, Peter. I have many things. I don't want to go to your stupid
Just
festival.
assume I don't have anything to do.
I do want to go to that festival. But seriously, can I come?
I feel like I just told David I already asked somebody else to the prom.
You asked someone else to the prom, too? Jesus Christ.
But yeah.
Can I tell you real quick before you get it? A girl asked me to the prom. My senior year, she asked me to the prom, and I knew she had already asked a friend of mine who turned her down. Oh, no. And I was like, so I'm like your second choice? And she said, I swear to God, she was like, well, think of it as being my second first choice. And I'm like, that's the same. I know how math works, you know?
Did you go with her?
I understand. Yeah, I fucking went. Like, yeah, I went. We ended up making out at the end of the night, which was my second choice of what we would do. So it all worked. It was fair for everyone.
That's good. That's a better prom story than I have, where I just awkwardly rode roller coasters with her the next day, and that was as close to intimacy that we got for the weekend.
All right.
As long as she's screaming, that's fine.
No, she didn't even do that. She like rode cross-armed like I had taken her to Kings Island against her will.
Who rides a roller coaster with their arms crossed?
Who's mad on a roller
That's
coaster?
the opposite
really?
of...
Unless you're terrified,
You're
I
real
guess.
angry.
And that was the last time I went to Kings Island, and I can remember, because I got trapped in Flight of Fear. They had to take the crossbar off, because I'd wiggled my legs. I'm a little taller than the average person. Wiggled my
You're
legs
a tall
in.
man. How tall are you?
6'7".
6'7".
So,
Tall man.
if you're 6'7" or over, don't go to Kings Island. Well, don't ride Flight of Fear.
Is that even still there?
I don't know.
Okay,
I haven't
go
been
on.
to Kings
I was
Island
18.
in a
I'm
decade.
I'm sorry. I feel like I kept interrupting your story. So you got caught on the coaster.
Well, yeah, I was able to, like, wiggle my legs in, but then, like, you know, sometimes when you're riding, your legs fall asleep, and then they're pinned by this bar.
I don't know that, but I believe you.
I couldn't get out. They were already, like, this weird sideways angle, and they had to, like, get somebody to, like, detach the nuts to just lift the bar up.
Oh,
so
really?
they could get this idiot kid off the roller.
And everyone's watching you.
Was your prom date right next to you?
No, I think she and a couple of friends had already walked down the ramp. They're just like...
They weren't even waiting for you. This is the worst prom date ever. This is way worse. I got to make out. I was number 2 guy.
Perfect.
I don't talk to any of those people anymore.
Fair enough.
So anyway, when are we
Anyways,
leaving for the fest? Tomorrow. We're leaving tomorrow?
Yeah, we're leaving about 12:30. Anybody listening to this show is going to air after we've gone to the fest. But I'm going to try to get this show up maybe Sunday right before the Super Bowl, so you can listen to this show instead of watching football if you want.
Or watch football with this on.
Yes.
That'll work, too.
You don't need the sound.
We're going to be better than Chris Collinsworth, because he's kind of terrible anyway, right?
Yeah, I agree. You might as well just put the podcast on and watch the game with no sound, right?
Yes. And then we'll get a special midweek Winterfest, Brooks and I's impression. I'm not even sure how it's going to go down, but
We'll figure it out.
we're going to record from there.
You're going to record from the festival. So it's like a beer festival?
We're gonna.
Yes.
I mean, we're gonna try.
Definitely.
No, you should. That sounds great. Yeah.
Yeah, they
where.
actually gave us media passes for it too. So
Nice.
we have the same credibility that like any of the like News Center 4 has.
And why should you not? Have you watched News
Perfect.
Center 4?
Yeah.
Because I haven't, but I wanted to make fun of them anyway. Like, I like to think they will hear this and be like, what is that guy's problem with us? Never. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
This show that's 13 weeks in is just as credible as
Exactly.
Oh, God, we've wasted a lot of time. Let's drink.
Let's drink. I'm excited.
First beer sitting in front. This might be a record for longest wait.
Yeah, I think it could be.
Prost, gentlemen.
Thank you. I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I kind of knew I would. I knew I would.
Oh, I'm glad.
I went with the frostbite for those of you listening out there in podcast land. If you want to call in and talk about it, what's the number to call in for the podcast? Can you just call into
You
the
can call
podcast.
Pete's cell phone.
Jake Johansson said the way he described podcast to his parents was like, "Oh, it's like a radio show on your phone," and they're like, "Oh, okay."
Well,
Yes, that's a great way to describe it.
Anyway, the beer's good. I got the frostbite. Here's the things I like about it. Before I even ordered it, A, it's dark. I like a dark beer. B, it's not bitter. I don't like a real bitter beer. C, it's called frostbite, which makes it sound very Norwegian and like death
Yeah.
metal-y, which I'm very into. I'm not super into death metal, but if I'm gonna listen to metal, I like my metal to be about like dragons and wizards and frost giants and
So,
shit.
like, Opeth or Frostbite are your bands.
Yeah. Frostbite is it. There's a band in town called Thorax, and they got me into like that kind of metal. It was like, oh, this metal's all about fighting goblins. I'm super into it. It's like Lord of the Ringsy metal. Like, it's great.
Look them up, guys, because that sounds awesome.
Yeah, check out Thorax.
Lord
Like,
of the
they're
Ringsy
great.
metal.
There's a little plug for Thorax. You're welcome. They
All
like
right.
beer too.
Ooh. Well, maybe we'll have to get them to play a Goblin song and then see what they pick for beers.
Goblins.
Yeah, the Goblin. That's not one of their songs. There is a song called Sundering of the Frost Giant, though, so that's a good.
Oh, that sounds
amazing.
nice.
It's as good as you might think.
Brooks, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Victory Moving Parts. It's an American IPA. Basically, it says the result is a well-balanced IPA featuring citrus and piney notes. Tastes a little piney to me.
Yeah?
I think it might grow on me, though.
Is it one of those IPAs that like really hits you up front and then smooths out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that. We'll see where I'm at in a couple minutes here. I think I'm going to like it.
I also went with an IPA today. I went with 3 pints, and it's called the Hop Flow. It's an Imperial IPA, and it is. I love descriptions when beers have these, the most basic. Imperial IPA loaded with citrus and juicy hop flavors.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
And that is it.
It is.
It does have. I was gonna say this one tastes like a little fruity, and I was like, there's nothing in the description. But I only read one sentence. It's 2 sentences, and I couldn't finish. And I was like, do we have a bookmark for this paragraph to put between the sentences? No, it does mention fig, apricot, and raisin is just notes of. It sounds so fancy to say notes of something.
It's
I'm having some fries with notes of ranch dressing on it.
Makes it sound like. Yeah.
I do love craft beer and all this stuff, but it can get a little pretentious sometimes, just so
Sure.
to speak. But I mean, it's just when you get into something that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it can be cool. I feel like there's a certain manliness that's attached to drink that I get freaked out. Like, this beer's manly, and that, like, I can't have a Zima. I would like a nice, refreshing Zima. It's hot out.
It's a
I
hot
can't have
day.
a fucking
I really
Zima.
want a Zima.
I can't have what's the vodka like one? Smirnoff
yeah.
Ice. Like, it's a hot day. Let me enjoy a goddamn Smirnoff Ice without questioning my sexuality. I'd like to be refreshed once.
And I'm over here getting the deepest, darkest hair on your chest beer you can get.
Yeah.
Well, I did go with what I would say. Anything. This is what a Viking would drink,
Yes.
right? That's
Casks of that they probably stole from a village down the
right.
fjord.
Plundered.
Well, guys, and I think you may have already picked up on one of the reasons I asked David Britton on. I had to wrangle him in. No, it's
is my manliness.
Yes.
Are you gay or not? Let's just get it out there. Can we please just
you know,
go?
over the air, maybe somebody might be questioning that. Seeing you in real life, the beard on this man
Really
still leads
covers
to
up.
questions.
Really,
Yeah.
really covers up.
No, David is a local comedian. I've kind of had a string of comedians on the show. One of my favorites.
Oh,
I think
this is very sweet.
there's 2 things that I think can really make comedy great. Is one, when they put something that's so familiar to all of us in a completely different way of looking at it that seemed like it was just sitting there the whole time. You're like, why didn't I think of that? But it's just so hilarious.
Right.
Or two, which I think you're really, really good at, is where when you're going through your act, the next line is basically answering the question that the audience has just come up with. And it's just like, you lead them down this path. Each step they have a question, and it's like your next step, you answer it for them.
Yeah, you know what? That's a thing that I think other comics really like, and I love doing. But sometimes the audience is just like, slow down. We don't, Sometimes I come off a little weird for audiences, and then and it's a very old-timey thing to do. Like if you go back and watch like Marx Brothers movies, when Groucho is like, go watch Animal Crackers, which is the second Marx Brothers movie. And Groucho is always like joke on top of joke, and every punchline is also a setup, kind of. It's great, and I love doing that. And I sometimes, like Mike Collins, who is a comic we both know, came up to me and was like, oh, I like that old-timey stuff you're doing. And it's not like I mentioned like horseless carriages or like anything like that. He just recognized that style as being like kind of an old-timey, like cool. Almost vaudevillian style. But it's hard. Sometimes audiences love it, and other times they're just like, we do not understand what you're doing at all. Just stop it and talk about farts, please. Please, one fart. Just throw in a fart joke, for crying out loud. Farts are funny to me, by the way. I'm not disparaging fart jokes. I love a good fart joke.
Yeah. Do you think that happens to come about by demographic? Like, not to again sound too pretentious, but
this is going to get real racist. It works real well when there's Asians in the audience. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. No.
But yeah, I mean, like a town like Bloomington, where your audience has probably got more of a higher education level versus like going to like a bar show in the middle of the country.
You know what?
Is that the difference? Or?
You know what? I still haven't quite figured out. Like sometimes, I think it depends a lot on this kind of show too. Like if it's an open mic and I'm going up at the end and they've already heard a bunch of, and people who might be funny and maybe they're not, it's an open mic.
Yeah.
But they've already heard a lot of the same kind of jokes and the same style of like delivering them. Like here's who's popular now. You can hear people like, I want to be Louis C.K. I want to be like whoever else, so it's kind of like you hear it. And then if someone goes up at the end, and Doug Drury is also great if he goes at the end of an open mic.
He's way different.
It's just so different that they're laughing at the fact, like, here's this weirdo, and what the fuck is he doing? So they're kind of just laughing at that. And I think sometimes also people appreciate a joke, but don't necessarily laugh at it. They're like, I think that's clever.
Yeah.
But laughter is a guttural, just instinctive reaction. So you can appreciate something, but not laugh. But I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy who afterwards people are like, you really made me think. Yeah, thanks.
You got people with
that's what I was going for.
Very, very intriguing.
How droll.
I'm going to go home and think about this for a while.
No, that's great. Actually, you described my girlfriend perfectly because she really likes coming to comedy.
That's what I was going for. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, it takes a lot to get her to actually like audibly laugh.
Well, you know what? I think comedy as a formula mathematically is a simple formula. Like all you do, you write down a thing you think is funny, you go to an open mic or a few open mics and try it out, and you see if people laugh and they think it's funny, then you put it in your act. Like it's real, actually, mathematically, it's very simple. It's like I had a martial arts instructor who used to say, it's not easy, but it's simple. And I think that's the thing with stand-up comedy. It's very simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. Like the concept is easy.
That's true. There's not a whole lot of physics to it.
Yeah, you just write a thing you think is funny, you say it in front of people, they tell you whether or not it's funny. Then if it's funny, you keep it.
That is the gist of it.
That's really all there is to it.
I could never do it in my life, ever. I respect the hell out of you guys for it. There's no way I could never, ever do that.
Well, I don't know. I just recently started. I'm very new, but it's like...
Sure.
Yeah. But that's it, right? That's all you do, right?
Well, yes. But the problem is, like, apparently my sense of humor is not on the level of the majority of people.
Then it just takes longer.
Well, yeah. The stuff that I have gotten laughs at, I'm always kind of shocked. Like, wait, why are people laughing at that?
What's wrong with you?
And then the one where
You
I'm
don't
like,
know if they're laughing with you or at you.
well, that could be.
yeah.
And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna hit him with this awesome boom punchline, and it's like,
Crickets.
There's this guy. Were you around when Simon Weber was doing comedy? Do you remember that guy?
I do not know him.
So I think he moved away. Simon Weber was this guy, and he used to do this joke. I'm sorry, Simon, if I'm fucking up your joke. This is how he would go up, and he wanted to do a joke about Air Bud. So he'd say, he would set it up by saying, "You guys check out that movie Air Bud." And then he would go like, shouldn't it have been like a black lab? Like, that was the punchline. But people would always laugh when he said, have you guys checked out that movie Air Bud?
And that was funny.
There's some reason saying, have you checked out that movie Air Bud? Like it's The Godfather. Like it's some great cinematic masterpiece. Have you checked out this amazing movie?
Everyone in there has seen it. So.
But he didn't expect to get a laugh on that setup. But he did, and then he was self-aware enough to be like, oh, they laughed at that. I should keep that. So then every time he would say it and get a laugh, but I think he never knew why. He never knew exactly why people were laughing, but he knew enough to be like, oh, if people laugh at that, I'm going to keep saying it.
So did he drop the black lap part? He just said, have you checked out
the, and then, no, he kept the black laugh part too, which would also sometimes get a laugh. You know, it's a funny joke.
Yeah, no, I do.
But I mean, that's the thing. You almost, like, if you just throw enough shit at a wall, something's going to stick.
that is also
You just
true,
have to
yeah.
be self-aware enough to be like, oh, I see what people are laughing at, you know,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
keep that in the act.
How long have you been doing comedy?
I want to say 3 years, but I've already had half a beer, so I'm not
12
even.
days. He is brand new.
He just
and
started last
hilarious.
week.
I think 3 years. I want to say 3 years.
But it's not the first time you've gotten on stage to perform. You've performed in other.
I was in
Areas
bands
of-
for years. I played drums, and I love doing that. This is so much easier because in bands, like
Sweating.
Yeah, less sweaty. You don't have to, like, it's 4 guys, so you have to, like, now I just have to clear my schedule. I'm like, I'm free that
Yeah.
day, I'll come do the show. There's not 4 guys. I don't have to load up a bunch of equipment. We don't have to get a van with a trailer. I just go in a car. I don't, that stand-up comedy is so easy. You just show up. All you have to do.
Don't have to wear anything in
You
particular.
don't have to wear it. You don't have to worry about your equipment malfunctioning.
Yeah.
You need a microphone and a stand and hopefully a light.
Yes. Which is not always the case depending on places you go.
You've been doing it what? How long?
4 months.
4 months. 4 months. Tell me, let's talk about the worst show you've ever done. That's always fun, is to talk about, like, the worst. And you don't have to name names or places, but I always like to hear about, like, the worst thing.
I might be too new, honestly, because.
You haven't done any bar shows? Have you done a show at,
No.
like, a sports bar where no one's
Well,
paying?
you know, I just did up in Indy a few weeks ago. I went with Kurt Messick, who's been on the show.
Oh, Kurt's great, yeah.
And it was a sports bar on East Washington Street in Indy. No, okay, so that was kind of weird because when I got there and when the first comedian went up, the place was literally packed.
Uh-huh.
But it started to filter out.
Did you feel like people were there for the show?
No, I think they was just there eating and finishing up.
All right.
And the people that were there for the show, I think there was a few, but it was mostly friends and families of the comedians, but
Right.
nobody had more than like 4 people.
Okay.
And so I went up in the middle. It was a long it was like 3.5 hours.
That's way too long.
Yeah.
That's 90 minutes. If there's any bookers or promoters listening to this, 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Stop it after that.
I didn't have the stamina for it, and I mean, I was there to perform. Yeah, we got there at 9, and we left at 12:30, and there's still 3 comics to go.
Oh my God.
It's that's not 90 minutes. I think sometimes there are, like, I work with this booker, and sometimes the venue's like, oh, we're used to having bands, and they play for like 2 to 3 hours, so you need to fill that time. Mm-hmm. And in that case, he's like, okay, I'll do it. But in general, 90 minutes is plenty. That's all people want to sit through, you know?
Yeah.
who wants to watch a 3-hour movie, right?
Right. It's like, yeah, it's too, like, unless you're Lord of the Rings.
I was getting ready to say, unless it's the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Even then, break it up into some more movies, you know? That's what they did with The Hobbit, because they want money, but
Well,
That was
yeah.
too many movies.
yeah.
I think I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
I do love The Hobbit, but maybe
I love
one
The
too
Hobbit.
many movies there.
I've only seen the first one, but I read the book. And I've read all the books. I've even read the Silmarillion. That's how nerdy I am.
Ooh.
I read the Silmarillion.
That's like the Codex, like the world's encyclopedia,
Yeah.
basically.
It's kind of like, it has a lot of stories in it. It's very biblical. It was like this person
Really?
begat this person who begat this person. And you're like, oh my God. Is there a story in here? That, oh my God, was not intentional, but I'll take it.
One thing that I've had to kind of Tolkien conversation, and we need to go to break soon, but I want to ask you, did it have the origin of Tom Bombadil in that?
I believe it did, maybe. It had the origin of the whole world. It's like there was this god, and he sang the world into being and everything. So it has the backstory of everything. Do you remember? This is really okay. Tune out if you're not a super big Lord of the Rings nerd, but stay tuned if you are. Do you remember in the books and the movies, there's one point where Gandalf says that what's the main horrible evil wizard's name?
Sauron?
So he's like, he is just a
No,
servant.
Sauron, sorry.
Well, there's Sauron, and then there's Saruman.
Saruman's the wizard.
Yeah.
Sauron's the evil.
Sauron's the big.
The big eye.
Sauron, he's just a servant of of even someone else.
Oh,
and so
really?
it goes into who that is.
So there's
and-
a higher power at
Yeah,
play?
yeah.
Really?
yeah, so it's a long.
Don't want to meet that guy.
Yeah, that guy he'd make like a necklace.
The string of pearls
The
of
pearl
power.
necklace.
The pearl necklace. Oh.
Well, I think that's a perfect place
Yeah,
to take
why
our
not?
first
Yeah,
break.
sure.
Our beers are getting low.
Yeah, I'm about halfway through. This is a
As-
stronger beer.
Yes. Well, we don't drink wimpy ones on this show, so me and Brooks are already prepped to drag David out of here after the second round.
Yeah, you'll need it. I'm kind of a lightweight.
Throw him in a cab.
Perfect, because this is going to go great. Our next round is the games, and I always love when people are silly on the games. Keep listening to Who's Drinking What. We'll be right back.
Shadows fall to my window. Night is
Welcome back. It's the game time round of Who's Drinking What. For all you listening vets out there, we're going to start with a round of Pick Your Poison.
All right.
And I'm going to let Brooks be the first victim. Today, all three of us are going to get in on it. We're only
Okay.
going to do one round for each of us. And then we're also going to play, Is This a Beer? So look forward to that. Brooks, I present to you yours.
Alrighty.
What's amazing, too, and why Brooks is the co-host of this show is he's like the bloodhound of beer.
Oh, really?
The bloodhound.
Do you know a lot about beer? Are you a beer guy? You feel
I
like
am.
you're,
I am. I like to
good.
think I am, I guess.
And his tongue is just amazing. Like he
I've been
Not,
thinking
not
that.
the first time.
I've been thinking
told
that this whole show. Yeah.
he can chai 8 cherry stems together to say happy birthday.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That'd
that's
be
how good
something.
his
In cursive.
his wife is a very happy woman.
All
All right, any thoughts on just the style? So his first guess is going to be the
Yeah,
style.
I have a guess, and I'll give you my reasosoning after it's all over. But I'm gonna guess that it's a brown ale.
You are so good.
It's a what?
A brown ale.
It's a brown ale.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is kind of an amorphous style. Like it is its own specific one, but it can like creep into all kinds of others. So I thought I had him tricked on this. My
Well,
goal is
I'll
to try to trip him up, and I haven't yet.
When I get done here, I'll tell you why, why I guess that. But all right, what are my choices?
Okay. 3 Floyd's Munster Southern Brown.
Okay.
Toyard's
I
Who's
got it.
That? And the Taps Winter Delight.
You're gonna have the exact same 3 choices, just so you know.
You picked a brown ale
Yeah,
for me.
that's why I thought that's what it was.
You shouldn't have given that away. You might have gotten it.
I'm sorry.
All
There's
right.
an automatic point for you, I guess.
So,
but,
yeah.
All right.
So now he's going to look over the menu, see if from the descriptions.
Oh, and
from
he's
what he
got to pick
tasted-
which actual beer it is. Like, he
Yes.
knows what kind, but now he has to
Now,
pick
yeah,
what
of the three-
of
the
those
actual
three
beer.
options. And actually, that's always the danger because Brooks and I have played this enough that we quickly went through like your generic styles of like porter, stout, IPA, wheat
right.
beer. That we're trying to like find the more obscure or weird types to try to trip each other up
Right.
because we keep not losing to each other. I think the last
Right.
time we
Yeah.
played head to head, we tied.
Oh, well, I'll make up for it by losing big time.
All right, I'm guessing a Winter Delight. Just because it says aged in a barrel that once held Rose Wildberry whiskey barrels. It's got a little.
It's got an aged barrel taste to it.
Yeah.
That's why he is the bloodhound of beer. He got it right. Perfect
Very
day for
impressive.
Brooks. Yes.
All right, now I guess we'll go to
You're gonna
you.
give me mine.
You know it's a brown ale because I unfortunately said it.
I should have brought some water to clear my
And
palate.
you know your three choices because they're the exact same three as that I had. I thought I was kind of switching it up by getting a brown ale, but then as soon as you passed
Yeah,
that over
no, I
to me,
know,
I was like,
it's-
oh shit.
Hilarious. Okay, well, I have a strong feeling, and one of the reasons I didn't pick the tow yard, or why I didn't make that yours, because Brooks had that last week, and I actually thought that might be a good trip up for him.
Ah,
I feel like I don't think it's the Winter Delight either, because I don't feel like I'm tasting the barrel age to it.
okay.
It's got a dryness on the end. What are Three Floyds? That's the one I think I need to zero in and look at and just
Give
be sure.
it a hard read.
That is more bitter and higher alcohol content than a typical Southern Brown. It is dark, a little fruity.
That wasn't a very confident face.
No, I don't know. So the Tow Yard says that it's got toffee, nutty, bready, and roasty notes.
All right. Was that
I-
last week I had a tow yard? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
maybe? I
you
don't know.
did.
It's pretty good.
It was. So I do it a little different than Brooks on this, though, David. I
Okay.
tend to judge the alcohol content in it, so that's what I'm between.
Oh, so yeah, that's
One's got
that's
a
a big
4.
indicator for you.
Yes, and one's got a 7.5.
It's a big difference. That's a big difference. How drunk do you feel? How pretty am I right now?
You are so beautiful.
Well, that's a high alcohol content.
I do think it's the higher alcohol. I'm gonna guess the Three Floyds Munster Southern Brown.
You're incorrect.
Ah,
It is also the Winter Delight.
It's the same beer you gave him. Is it the same
it's
beer
the
you
same
gave
one
him?
that he gave me.
Ah, you dummy.
You don't taste the barrely taste at all?
Yeah, it's subtle.
What beer did you have before that? It could have thrown
I
you
had
off.
a pretty strong Imperial IPA.
That could have thrown you off. I don't know, but
See, that's why I was saying I should have gotten some sort of palate cleanser before
Yeah,
I'll have a delicious seasoned fry.
yeah. I'll use some of these delicious tap fries.
Yeah.
well, that
Or
was.
shills. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Tap fries are delicious.
Oh yeah, great.
All right. Well,
Well, that
David,
was interesting.
you've seen how it's done.
I've seen how it's done. I get it.
Here's your sample. Brooks and I's was a fairly deeper brown. David's looking at something that's got a little more amber color to it.
Okay, I'll give it. I'm gonna do it the way you guys did it.
Sniff.
I've got a big nose, but a horrible sense of smell, which is like nature's irony. I'm detecting notes of like some floral notes. It's of a rose or maybe some sort of daffodil or lily. Maybe freshly mown grass.
Oh.
Okay.
It's all dandelion.
Is this a dandelion wine?
Fight dandelion.
Okay, here we go. Well, it's clearly an IPA. That much I know right now.
And that's all you're trying to guess right now.
It's an IPA. It's an
Boom, boom,
IPA.
boom.
Okay.
All right, David's got his first point, so he's at least matched me.
Yeah. Okay. So now I have to
So
guess.
now I probably shouldn't have just laid my notebook right.
I saw you set it down, but then I turned it around. That's clearly an IPA. Okay.
All right, we're gonna give you a 50-50 chance.
You can give me 3 if you want. You do whatever you want.
I'll give you the 50-50.
Okay, I appreciate that.
We're a little gentler, like gentlemen, on our guests. The Dogfish Head 90-minute.
Wait, where is that? Dogfish had 90 minutes. I see it. Delivers a malt backbone. What is that? Come on, now you're just making stuff up. I've never heard a multi-backbone. I thought this was more of a multi-spleen, to be honest, but I can see where they would say backbone. Okay.
Usually what that means is that you'll get the hops up front, but then like the last taste you get before it goes down your throat will be a little sweeter. Is typically when you see the malty backbone.
Okay,
Or
I see.
spleen.
So you've seen that before. Okay.
Yes.
So it could be that.
Or it's going to be what I've been drinking actually in the 3 pints hop flow.
Okay. Which is an imperial IPA loaded with citrus and juicy hop flavors. I'm trying to see if I note any citrus in this. Maybe there's some.
Good tasting sounds. That's good radio.
I'm sorry for anyone out there who's getting all hot right now. I didn't mean to turn people on. Continuously hoppy, allowed for a pungent but not crushing hop flavor. I'm going to go with the Dogfish Head. 90 minute.
Got it?
I lost today.
Nailed it!
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Nailed it!
David Britton, 2
Oh,
points.
you guys-
Brooks got 2 points.
I'm so good at beers, you guys.
A professional
You gave me an
beersman.
easy one, though.
He
I think
didn't
you
know
gave
it.
me an easy one, right?
I mean,
I'll
could've
take
gone
it.
either way on
I'll
that.
take the handicap.
All right, so we're done with our first game. Now we're going to roll into, is this a beer? Now this is another one. No tasting involved, but Brooks has still got almost a flawless
This is
record
just
on it.
more a luck of the
You're just
luck of the-
gonna
luck of
say
the
a
guess
name.
kind of thing.
I'm going to say name
And you
because
could have either made this name up
It's
completely
either
out
a
of your
real
head.
beer or he made it up.
yes. We're going to do 5 today. And because I don't have a good poker face, I've given it away just facial expression-wise in the past. I go cross-eyed after reading these.
Yeah, okay,
So
that's
you
great.
can't read anything
That's
except
a-
the fact that my eyes might stay that way.
I hope when you put it up on YouTube, because you put these up on YouTube as well, right?
Yeah, it's just
Is there a
pictures
picture of
in
you
our
cross-eyed? There
on-site-
needs to be.
Yes, I am severely cross-eyed.
Yeah.
All right, guys, your first one. Simple Sizen says.
Simple Sizen says.
Simple
Sizen
Sizen says.
Oh, that's great. Oh, I wish everyone could see it. Well, they will see it. Watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Can we discuss as a group, or do we need?
No, you can totally.
Are we competing
You'll-
against each other or just against you?
I guess you're kind of competing against each other. It's not a real competitive venue.
Simple Sizen says.
Simple Sizen says.
I'm going to say it's a real beer.
I'm gonna say it's made up.
I like when there's derision in the group.
That sounds made up. I think you were trying to
Oh,
go.
no.
It is made up.
That's
know
a
what?
good made up.
Because I think you were drunk when you came up with it.
How proud of
And you're
yourself
like,
were you when you made that one
"Simple."
up?
Really proud. Very proud.
Very proud.
It was
You were,
10:30 in the morning.
and you were already drunk.
I was.
And you're like,
Right, and he'd been
simple
drinking for
license, hey, put a roofie in it. That's what you did.
I wanted to make a beer out of Bop It and went with Simon Says. No.
Okay, that's great.
Number 2. Brewers Gone Wild, hop pour. Brewers Gone Wild, hop pour.
I'm gonna say that's real because I don't think you put a comma in it.
You don't think I know punctuation?
I don't think I can't. I can't take it serious when you're making that face.
That's the whole reason I'm making this face.
Oh, boy. Fake.
We both
Brooks
say.
goes fake and you go.
I go
real?
fake.
You go
Oh.
fake.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, I said real because I'm going real.
Okay.
Because I don't think you would have put a comma in there.
2 points, David.
Oh,
Oh
man.
yeah.
0 points, Brooks. Hop Pour is from Terranina in Wisconsin. And just to guess.
Ooh, that's the sheep shagger.
It is the Sheep Shagger place, so they've already got a good roster of names.
Wait, why is that the name of a beer? Sheep
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shagger?
it's a Scottish ale.
Did he trick you with that? That would have gotten me. I wouldn't think that was a
No,
real.
wait, we've actually had that one on the show. They
Yeah.
had it on tap here for a while.
I was gonna ask if that's ever happened. Like you named a beer and you're like, I've actually had that beer.
It has happened before.
The first time I did this, I was a little too gentle, so I'm trying to go obscure as hell for Brooks because he's drank a lot.
Right.
Do you guys have a guess as to what type of beer that may be?
Which
Brewers
one?
Gone Wild Hop Pour.
Imperial IPA.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yep, it is.
All right.
Okay. No bonus points involved. Just
Damn it! You gave Sam a shit ton of bonus points for that kind
fine.
of
You
stuff.
got 0.5.
Point-
2.5 to 2.5.
Oh my gosh.
Or
Wait, I'm sure I'm ahead. I feel
you
like
are
I'm
ahead,
winning.
Yes, 2-point lead.
He's ahead.
All right. Devil's Mullet.
Oh, that's a great game.
Devil's Mullet. I hope it's real.
Devil's
I'm
Mullet.
gonna guess real. I really hope it's
Brooks
real.
is guessing real.
I want it to be real. First of all, I want it to be real because it's a great name, and I don't think you're that fucking clever. No, I'm just kidding. You know what? I think you are that clever. I'm going to go fake.
Okay, so another split decision. Brooks is real, Davis is fake.
I say fake.
It's 3.5 to 0.5 again. That is
Oh my
one of my
God.
own.
Ah, Devil's Mullet. See, I knew you were clever.
I never
I
liked
can
this
see those
game
bottles.
anyway.
I can see those bottles now. That's
You know what? And I will admit, knowing you were going to be the guest on the show, a little inspiration. He does a joke about hitting on somebody from the back that looked like a woman. Turns out to be the devil.
turns out to be the devil.
And I figured, what if that were just a rocking mullet and David's really attracted to women with mullets?
Which is also it's a joke inside a joke because we all know all women are the devil. That's simple.
Yes.
Oh,
All right. I love watching Brooks squirm. How do you feel right now, sir?
Not
I'm rooting
well.
for you.
Not well.
I'm taking too much pleasure. I'm sorry. Right before we go to Winterfest, this is gonna be like the couple's vacation after a fight.
Not one word is going to be said on the way to Indianapolis.
All right, guys. The sixth glass.
I can't stand that fake. The sixth glass.
My face is starting to hurt from doing this.
Real.
Oh, the sixth glass.
I got to get one right, I hope.
Brooks going real.
I'm gonna go fake again. I'm sorry.
All right. It is actually real from Boulevard
You
Brewing.
got me on that one.
And do you have any guesses to what it may be?
The sixth glass. Well, let me think. What would you drink if you had already had 5 beers? I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna say it's just like all the beer that is like, you know, the mats they have on the bar where they pour over and everything slops down into it. I'm gonna guess it's just that poured into a glass. I think that's what it is.
It's a quadruple, so it could be quadruple beers in the. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I like that.
Huh.
All right, guys. So it's 3.5 because that stupid bonus point Brooks made me give out, even
Yeah.
though you guys said the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it away.
What was the bonus point for?
For guessing it was an Imperial IPA, but you guys both guessed that.
So we should both get it.
You do. I'm gonna just
Just take
eliminate
it away.
The sixth beer I'm gonna guess
3.
is a dark porter.
that. 3-1.
Yeah, okay.
How many
3 to
more do
1.
we have here?
This is the last one,
Well,
so
shit.
David's already won. But this is
Is this
for,
one worth 2
This
points?
is for honor.
This is for honor. No, it's just a 1-pointer. A whale of an ale.
A whale of an ale. That has Peter Hines written all
Is
over it
this
to me.
a beer? A whale of an ale.
I'm gonna say fake.
I'm going to say
Fake.
real just so maybe I can get another point.
It's good thinking.
It is my own device.
I know his humor.
Yeah, that one was a shitty one.
You know beers, but I know his humor. I said I know his humor, and you're like, yeah, that is a shitty one.
I have
I
shitty
just wanted
humor.
another point.
All right, so I think that was a fun round of Is This a Beer?
That was good.
All right,
Let's
so
get
David
us some
wins
more
that.
beers here.
They tied on Pick Your Poison, so I guess, David, I'm going to crown you the champion of the game round.
Oh, you guys, I'm so good at beers. I'm so good at being
I get
drunk.
the short end of the stick no matter what.
I will say
If I'm
I've
up
had
5, somehow the question's worth 4.5.
I've had one beer in a sampler, and I feel like unable to drive. I'll say that. I'm a wee
feel
little
like
man.
Well, stick around because we have one more beer, and maybe you'll be unable to walk.
Okay, I can't wait for that. That'll be fun.
We'll be right back with the second round.
I like girls in cut-off blue jeans. Is that really oh so bad? Sometimes I think I miss my calling. Should have been Sir Galahad. Memories, they come to me. I find I see places I'd like to be. My mind, it runs in circles for what seems forever.
Okay, welcome back. We have our second round in front of us. Wait, where's mine?
That's a good. Oh, it's still over here. I'll get it for you. Everyone, you talk amongst yourselves.
All right, I maybe drank a really strong beer to start the open because I brought us back from break and left my beer on the counter.
I drank a strong beer.
Thank you, David.
We're all drinking strong beers.
What a gentleman you
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. I want to be like the orphan. Oh, thank you, sir.
are. How
I'm
can
like-
you have any pudding? Or how can you...
How can you have
Have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? You know, that's a good point. You know, some songs are just good to listen to, and some songs have a real good message. And like you really got to. How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? That's an excellent point.
Jesus.
If you don't eat your meat, you can't have any pudding. Everyone, how could you have any pudding if you don't eat? How could you? How dare? That's what it should be. How dare you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat?
Pink Floyd, message for all future kind.
Message for all.
All right, guys.
Beer time.
Beer time.
No.
Clinkety,
Yeah.
clinkety.
Ah, it's so good.
I find mine very interesting also.
People, remember, alcohol makes you happy. That's the whole.
Yes.
Every time I get a little drunk, I'm like, oh, that's why people do this. It feels
Make
so
it all make
nice.
sense.
Oh, it's almost like she never left us. Am I right, you guys?
Beer has replaced mama.
Yeah. Like for you, it's mom. I was just going to girlfriend. You went way darker. You were way, yeah, like when your mom leaves you. Oh, man. You got way darker.
In retrospect, I maybe shouldn't have gone so dark.
No, I say go for it. That's great. That's great that your mom left you.
Oh, man, no, she actually hasn't. She's listened to the show. Sorry, Mommy.
Sorry, Mom.
All right. David, why don't you tell us what you're drinking there?
I'm drinking Old Wooden Buckethead. It's very good. You know what? So I was looking at it, and I'm like, that looks good. And then I asked, like, what on nitro meant, and because I don't know. And you guys were kind enough to inform me it meant, like, that's the propellant that gets the beer through the tap. And then Peter said, yeah, it makes it like more like a milkshake. And I was like, fucking sold. I'll take it. And it's delicious. It's a traditional brown English-style barley wine with complex malt sweetness of caramel and toffee. Full-bodied with balanced bitterness and a warm finish. Served on nitro to recreate an English tradition. That's traditional in England. In
Yes.
England, that they use
England,
in England.
where
This is
you
how
can't
much.
get your pudding if you don't finish your meat and have barley wines on nitro.
It's a 9.8. It's a 9.8er. So
And I like
someone getting fucked tonight, or later this afternoon.
that. Yes, it's still quite sunny right now.
Yeah.
And I also like that we all got beers that come in these cute little goblets.
I noticed
nice
that
and
too. We
dark.
all got fancy beers.
Yes. Brooks, what are you drinking? I'm not going to skip you this week.
I got the Southern Tier 2 Espresso. It's described as a sweet stout. It says a rich and creamy sweet stout with the addition of espresso beans and lemon peels for a true Italian-style pick-me-up.
That sounds really nice, actually. I'm gonna get that sometime.
You really get the espresso beans, and I wasn't quite sure what else. Maybe it's the lemon peels that I'm tasting at the end. It's got kind of a funky little tang at the end. That's probably it. I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because I know you haven't always enjoyed some of the more coffee-based stouts.
I know which one you're referring to. I feel like that one was just like some black coffee fresh out the pot. I mean, I like coffee, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think, I think that one kind of caught me off guard, if you will. I don't.
You
But
did.
this one's pretty good. I like this one. As I usually do with Southern Tier beers. I like a lot of Southern Tier beers.
You guys got to go visit some breweries. That would be fun.
We actually are, and that, I'll just give us a quick plug.
Yeah, plug this thing that we're doing.
I haven't even told Brooks. February 21st, it's a Saturday, we're going to be recording at Upland.
Oh, did you talk to him?
Nice. That's
I got the
exciting.
confirmation today.
That's awesome. What'd they say about it?
They would love to have us, and we're going to go drink some beer there.
Perfect.
Nice,
Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect.
Taking this show on the road.
Saturday, huh? About lunchtime or afternoon? Same time as
Noon,
this, or
yeah.
noon?
We're
All
going to
right.
try to get in before they really get too busy. We're a very polite podcast. We don't want to interrupt anyone's business.
Right,
Don't
right,
want
right.
to take away from any money-making activities.
Real quick, I got the Bell's Third Coast. It's an old ale, which I we joked a few weeks ago because I didn't realize it
Old
was an
ales?
actual style.
Yeah.
The Great Divide Hibernation. It is also fantastic, and I love the Great Divide Hibernation, and now maybe Old Ale is my new favorite style.
Oh, nice.
It finishes with, like kind of that beer taste, but like it's very sweet, but like, sometimes when you get something that tastes and it like seems to just fill your whole mouth, like it uses everything in there to taste it. That's what I would describe this as. It's great.
Very
Okay.
nice. Very nice. I've gotten into Belgian beers. I like a Belgian.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like the Who Garden. That's a great beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good beer.
That's a good beer. Guys, there's a good beer.
That's one of the first like Belgian types of beers I ever drank that kind of got me into those different styles of things.
Was Who Garden?
Yeah.
That's a good beer.
Terrific. Well, you know what? I'll keep my eye on the menu because I also have been getting very excited about Belgian styles. And if we get a few more on here, maybe we can do a Belgian show. I'll see if your schedule's open. Maybe we'll have David Britton back.
Oh, just all Belgian beers.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yes. And we'll drape ourselves in Belgian flags and.
Oh yeah, and strippers, right? You guys? Wait,
Yeah,
what?
that's
Did you?
Belgian.
If we can
that's a
get
good.
at those?
That's a good idea, Peter.
We need Belgian strippers. I know a guy. We'll get some Belgian strippers.
You know a guy who is a Belgian stripper. I know a guy. Well, wait. Let's talk about what we want. Can we get girls too? I'm okay if there's one guy.
We
I'm
need the full
open-minded.
spectrum.
No. Well, there we go.
All right. Well, David, you know what? I want to thank you for coming on the show. We're not ready to wrap up just yet, but he
Well,
is a
tread down
comedian.
this. Yes.
He takes it on the road.
I'm taking it on the road because they won't let me do it here.
Yes.
No, that's not true.
There's Bloomington's a great scene that I think there's a lot of good people here. Not the most places to actually get up and do comedy. though.
There's not a lot of stages. We do have one of the best clubs in the country for sure.
Absolutely.
And any place I go, even I was in North Carolina doing a festival, and I mentioned people would be like, "Where are you from?" And I said Bloomington, Indiana, and they're like, "Oh, the Comedy Attic." Like comics
Really?
know it all across the country. Yeah, it's a well-known club, and people love it for sure.
That's fantastic. Well, and I think you have a show coming up that.
Oh yes, yes. This is so good. This is like, oh yeah, I guess probably. It's like, have you ever been watching like the Tonight Show or Letterman, where they're like, oh, so you're in a movie coming up? Oh yeah, thanks for bringing that. As if they haven't discussed it for months. But he did ask me before. I will promote this show. I'm in Evansville, February 19th at the Boca Lounge. Rachel Goldman is putting together that show.
Oh,
Do you know?
she's great.
She's real funny, and she's hosting the show. So come to that show. I'll say this. If anyone that I don't know, you can't be a comedian. No comedians count. If you hear this podcast, I just started selling refrigerator magnets and buttons. My daughter, who is an artist, designed both of them. They're really great. The buttons glow in the dark. Whatever. No big deal. I guess it's just cool or
Important
awesome.
for the beer fan in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that's true. So if you hear this podcast and you come to that show, I'll give you a free magnet and button. It's a $5 value.
Worth it.
Yeah.
So Boca Lounge in Evansville, Indiana, February 19th, I think 8:30 is when the show starts. Come out.
Cool.
Evansville, yeah.
Me and
show
Rachel
up.
Goldman. So that should be Rachel Goldman, like you said, very funny.
Oh, yeah. I only saw her once, too, and that's how much of an impression she left on me. So, Evansville, get out there.
She won some contest I saw the other night. Like, I was closing out the show while they counted votes, and she won the contest. Oh, this was here's a little comedy story for you about how shows good. And the guy who booked it, I liked him a lot. He's always been very good to me and booked. But it's a contest, right? So comedians are going up. And he kept saying all night, like, there were two people left. I was supposed to be closing out while they're counting votes. And he kept being like, okay, there's 3 comics left. And I kept thinking, plus me. And he'd be like, there's 2 comics left. And then he would be like, and then he said, okay, here's your last comic of the night. And I'm like, wait, I'm going on after this. And then that last person went up, and then everyone started to leave.
Oh, God.
And then he goes back up, and he's like, okay, we do have one guy to close out. And people are like, no, whatever.
That's.
And it's just him, like, not knowing. Like, I don't think he was
Right.
being
He
a
didn't
dick.
present it very well.
He just didn't think to be like, yeah. Because also, the last thing people want after they've seen, like, a whole show, you're just ready to leave.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm ready to leave. So he's like, there's one more guy. And they're just like, no, thank you. He was very good. I mean, he's a nice guy. I don't mean to. But that's a way to not do it.
Yeah, that's funny.
But
I don't
Rachel
think-
won that contest. She's very funny.
Yeah. Good hosts are underappreciated, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, it's a tough skill.
I would like to promote something. I finally have something to promote.
right.
February 4th, I'm going to be at the open mic here at the Comedy Attic.
I'll be there.
Yes.
I'm gonna be there.
Are you,
so
will you be performing, or you just be there?
I'll be performing.
All
Or
right.
no, I'll just be there hanging out.
yeah.
Come have a beer. I'll sell you a magnet.
If anyone would like to come to that, I will be there having beers.
yes.
Are you gonna be there?
I will not
Brooks
be performing. I'll just be sitting.
Brooks is gonna be there. Come up and tell him you like the
You
podcast.
can come have a beer with me.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's a great guy to have a beer with, and you should watch him sit. He is great at it.
I'm very good
He's
at
sitting right now, and I'm very impressed.
Just look at me.
And then February 6th, I'm going up to Indy. This is only the third time I've taken my show on the road. It's a contest thing too, my understanding, at Latitude
Oh, okay,
off
great.
of 82nd. So
Where's Latitude?
Comedian Coley, I believe, runs that. Is that
Yes.
is that Coley
Where's
Davis?
that at in relevance to
82nd Street, and I don't know.
maybe like north, south, east, west? No.
North side somewhere.
You can look at. That's what we've got the internet for.
Very
Look it up.
Yes, I
middling.
have the internet right here.
Apparently, it used to be a video arcade, I was told.
Oh, there you go.
So, as much as I do enjoy trying to tell some jokes, I kind of will be watching the ghosts of Street Fighter 2's past out there because I enjoy my arcade machines.
Latitude 39. Is that what it's called?
Could be.
It's on 82nd Street.
Yeah,
that sounds
that's
right.
gotta be
That's
it.
probably right.
I
Oh, man.
don't even know where I'm performing.
Speaking of Ghost and video games, one of my I can't remember who did this joke, but they were like, "Oh man, there's all these ghost hunting shows now. I'm sick of them. The only one I like is that original like '80s ghost hunting show. What was it called? Pac-Man. That was good.
That is great.
I can't remember who did it. It's not me, but it's one of the most brilliant. What was it called? Pac-Man. So
That's
good.
also one of the best things about jokes is I'm sure the person who came up with it would love the recognition, but sometimes like just a great joke can stick with you and you'll forget where you heard it, when you heard it, why you heard it, but that will stick with you.
I was doing a show with Henry Phillips, who, by the way, is amazing. Check out Henry Phillips. But he was telling me, and again, I can't remember who did this joke, but we were just hanging out afterwards drinking beers, and he was like, "Oh yeah, one of my favorite jokes I ever heard at an open mic. A comedian went up and was like, "Oh, I named my dog Drew Barrymore, because I've always wanted to be able to tell people I fucked Drew Barrymore." Which is so, it's so horrible but funny.
Did
Yes.
anybody laugh, or did they sit there in silence thinking about it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure both, probably.
Yeah.
right? Yeah. That's another mark of
A lot
a
of
good joke.
shock and awe factor on that one.
Jesus Christ, that's horrible but funny.
Yeah. I do love that, actually, when you get those pinky up in the air people that are horrified, and then you get other people, like half the audience is just rolling in their seats. That's when it's a good joke, when you've divided the audience.
I heard, by the way, the pinky up in the air thing, like drinking like that, the reason that's aristocratic is could be complete bullshit, but this is what I've heard. The reason they did that is because there was so much inbreeding in the higher classes that it was like a physical deformity that they developed and passed down through generations. So that's why that's so fucking fancy, by the way.
That's funny. The inbreeding thing is true. I don't know if it's I wouldn't not believe it.
Unless your last name is Targaryen, cut that shit out.
Well, this actually bit of piece of history he gave us is going to lead right into this day in beer history.
History, that's a fictitious
Yes.
series of books.
Well, this is not.
Okay.
Today's headline is from 1645 in the Buccaneer Bugle, which it's a paper that was from the island of Tortuga.
They had papers
Oh.
in?
Yeah.
When was the printing press invented?
Around this time,
Just
I think.
before that.
Yeah, okay. Right, the day before.
Governor finally earns respect.
It's a good
With
thing.
tensions running high in the ports between rival crews and wannabe privateers, the governor has finally made a move that can't possibly have any negative ramifications. To ease the daily brawls and thefts, and to bring harmony to the island's residents, Governor Beauregard is importing over 1,600 women of ill repute. We talked to Captain Garbagebeard about how this
What?
decision
No, that's not a real thing.
impacts
That's what they called him.
his merry band of cutthroats. Aye, me men will finally have something to look forward to on top of our returns to port. Now, when I can line their pockets with treasure, they can line the halls of a bordello.
Well, that's
Grossbeard
this
left
is in
us.
the newspaper.
This is this day in beer history. You can't make it up. It's history. Grossbeard left us with this thought: a happy
it
seaman
was
is a
garbage beer.
productive seaman. Another benefit of recruitment of these working girls is that they bring with them many casks of ale, but with a twist.
Syphilis. That's the twist.
To keep them fresh from the voyage, citrus juice is being added, and this is a new drink called grog, courtesy of Vice Admiral Edward Vernon.
Thanks, Admiral Vernon.
As for the threat of another Spanish invasion, the governor simply stated, "They haven't taken the island and forced out all French and English 3 times already. Why would they do it again?" At least governor will have one good policy to his name.
Well, I wonder
article-
what he's been doing before that.
I don't know. The article goes on, and in fact, I think I heard Tortuga did get taken over by the Spanish one more time. After that.
Well,
Oddly enough, Captain Garbage Beard's name changed to Grossbeard in the middle of the story.
yeah, that's weird.
It's kind of weird.
Not a lot of fact checkers back then.
Not great journalism ethics back then.
And what
I
was
like
this
garbage.
guy doing that his big new popular policy is bringing in whores? Like, I got you guys some whores. Well, that makes up for all those babies you killed. Good job.
He might
Good
have
job,
had to-
Governor.
Yeah. So that's been this day in beer history.
Wait, there was no beer involved.
The grog.
Oh, right,
grog,
yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. I stand corrected.
Bit of housekeeping before the show ends. I want to thank Tim O'Malley, who's provided the music for this podcast.
Ah, yes.
He's a good friend. I previously worked with him, local singer-songwriter.
Does he live around here?
He does. He does.
Does
He
he
works
like-
at Bloomington Paint and Wallpaper just down the road.
Does he like beers?
He does.
Well, we'll get him on the show.
He
he
has
work-
a working
does he work-
conflict on Fridays, but
Ah.
I've thought of that. We're gonna
Maybe,
work on
maybe
something.
we'll swing a Saturday show or two. I don't know.
That could be. We'll take him to a brewery. But if any, I would like to get some variety. So any of the listeners out there, if you have any music that you'd be willing to let us use in between breaks, intro, outro,
You need to talk to Whistleface. There's a
Gonna-
band called Whistleface. They do the
like
intro
Garbage
for the Whistleface. You need to talk to Garbage Beard. Captain Garbage Beard is the best. Beer or not beer? Captain Garbage Beard. That's the okay.
Anyways,
Whistleface did the intro for History Bluffs, which is my podcast. They
That's a
also
good
did
intro.
the one for Girls Night with Tom Brady. They did that. You talk to look him up, Whistleface, amazing,
all right,
amazing band. They did Lasersaurus back when that was a thing. Yeah, they're real good.
Yes. Well, all right. I'm gonna have to talk to Whistleface. And in the meantime, anybody else who has some music that maybe wants to get it out there, we're not gonna pay you, but we're gonna love you, and we'll give you all kinds of credit. Feel free to send that in to probably the Gmail would be the easiest. Who's drinking what at Gmail. Hit us up on Twitter. It's at Who's Drinking What. Twitter wouldn't let me let that last T on there.
I like that.
Yeah. And also I'm looking for more ideas on games to play during the show. So if anybody has any ideas, please submit those. Might not go with it depending on how
If it's
good of an
stupid
idea
or
it
not.
is. Yes. But we would love to see them. David,
Well.
I want to thank you again for coming
Oh,
on
thank
with
you.
us.
This has been super fun, you
great
guys.
show. We got
It's good. I feel drunk.
I do
feel
too.
great. Yeah.
That's good
Yeah.
news.
The fries are good.
They
Come
are
to
good,
the
aren't
tap.
they? Yeah,
Keep
exactly.
coming by and telling them you heard about it on the podcast, and maybe they'll start giving us free beers.
That might be, yes. I do want to thank the good people at the tap. Their tap fries are delicious too.
Yeah, those are great.
Not a small portion. They're still just sitting there. All right, guys.
We got a big day tomorrow.
We got a big day. So, yeah, in a couple of days, stick with us. We will have already gone to Winterfest. I'll have that show up, I'm hoping, for Wednesday. Thank you, everybody, and drink on.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Clink, clink.
Sitting on my bed in my red pajamas, watching Michigan State take on Indiana, and honey, thought you'd like to know. I don't mean to be apologizing, and I hate wasting time philosophizing, 'cause baby, I'm a little bit slow. I know a lot of people catch on to things quicker, and maybe I spend too much time with my liquor, and I stand still while the others go. And I never get jokes until hours later, and then I crack up in a crowded elevator, 'cause baby,